Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett's Take. Let's get started. So it's that time of year, it's one of my favorite times of year, where unfortunately as the college football season is coming to a close, we now have the bowl season like for college basketball. We have March Madness afterwards, which is a wonderful time of year, but now we have the bowl games as well. So now what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to go over my bowl predictions for sorry, like I said, I'm still sick for every bowl. So let's get started. It starts off on this Friday, on the 17th, with the Bahamas Bowl. So you got Middle Tennessee 6-6 versus Toledo 7-5. Toledo right now is around a 10-point favorite. For me, what I did for all these bowls actually is I looked up all the stats, and what I did was, okay, what's their points per game? What's their rushing yards per game? What's their passing yards per game? And then on defense, how many points are they giving up per game? How many passing yards are they allowed per game? How many rushing yards are allowed per game? And then I go to, okay, well, what's their third down conversion? Because third down is about enough. If you're not good on third down, then it's a problem there. So how do they do on third down? And then what's their third down defensive percentage? So how many third downs are they going up? I don't do fourth down, Alex. Fourth downs, like, there's a rare moments, so numbers are skewed. But yeah, so I do third down. And then also it's like, okay, well, what is their turnover margin per game? Meaning, like, okay, are they taking the ball away enough, or are they giving the ball away too much? And then also I do penalties per game. Like, are they, because they're a team that's like heavily penalized every single game, it's gonna be hard for me to trust them, type of thing. So, and then also kicking numbers. Okay, does their kicker make it at a 90% clip, 80% clip? Like, what's that type of game? Because sometimes it comes down to special teams. If the kicker's not that great, it's again hard for me to trust them. So there's all those different stats that it comes down to, and I will post my stats on LinkedIn on my profile there, so you'll see my stats there, and also with the bowl predictions as well. So I look at all the stats first. Then if I still need more, then I say, okay, has the coach left? Has the coach? Have they hired a new coach? Is this player? Is this good player even playing, or has he already declared for the draft and is not playing? Like, just there's different stuff like that as well that you do have to factor in. But anyways, and this video, by the way, will be for just bowl games that are non-NY6 related, playoff related, by the way, because I'll be making a separate video for that. So it's like I said, starting Bahamas Bowl, Middle Tennessee 6-6, Toledo 7-5, Toledo 10-point favorite. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with Toledo here, mainly because I love their offense. Their offense is pretty good. Toledo, they actually score 34 points a game, which is good for 25th in the country. There's a bunch of other stats, but one key stat, Toledo's not great, they're down to 90th in the country, but Middle Tennessee, they're 126, and remember there's 130 FBS teams, so it's just like, again, it's one of the situations right there where it's just like, I'm sorry. That's very concerning for me, so I'm going to go Toledo here. But I'm going to have them winning by 12. I have them winning 28-16. Northern Illinois versus Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina should win this one easily. I know they're not as good as they were last year, but Grace McCall's still there, and a lot of the players are still there. They just had, a few hiccups with injuries and all that. But I know Northern Illinois is the MAC champions, but the MAC's been the weakest conference this year. So Coastal Carolina should win this game easily. I have them winning 34-17. Boca Raton Bowl, Western Kentucky runner-up Conference USA versus Appalachian State runner-up Sun Belt. This one's a go-the-way type of game, and the line agrees, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Appalachian State here to hold on for the win, because I really like their defense. Because Western Kentucky, they can't run the ball, so they have to pass, which they're a very good pass team, but Appalachian State's good against the pass, therefore, I feel like it'll neutralize them. I have the money 28-26. Sorry, I'm going to have to go faster, by the way. New Mexico Bowl, UTEP versus Fresno State. This is actually my most confident prediction, even if Fresno State has lost their head coach. I still feel like Fresno State should win this game, despite that, because UTEP's not a very good defense. So I have Fresno State win this one easily, 34-14. Independence Bowl, 13 BYU versus UAB. I think BYU should win this game. Now, there's an 80% chance of rain here, so it's going to be an ugly type of game. And there's a bunch of injuries to both sides, especially BYU side. So I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout, but I do think it could be higher than the 7-point line. So I'm winning by 2 touchdowns, 31-17. Lane Tree Bowl, you got Eastern Michigan versus Liberty. This is Malik Wills' last game, presumably before he's going to go to the draft. So I feel like he's going to make sure he balls out in that, so Liberty will win 28-20. Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, you get the Mountain West champion Utah State versus Oregon State. This one can go either way, but I like Oregon State's run game against Utah State's run defense. So I have Oregon State winning 28-24. Then you get the New Orleans Bowl. You got Marshall versus 23 Louisiana, Sun Belt champions. Even though Louisiana head coach Billy Napier has gone on to Florida, I still like Louisiana at the very least there. So I have Louisiana winning 21-17 in a close game there. Myrtle Beach Bowl. You got Old Dominion 6 versus Tulsa. This was a go either way type of game, but I'm going to go ahead and since Tulsa is the better team overall, I'm going to have Tulsa win 30-24. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, you got Kent State versus Wyoming. This is a very hard game for me to pick, especially as Wyoming's definitely going to have more of a home field advantage here. And Wyoming's a good defense, and Kent State's a good offense, so it'd be interesting which one wins there. But then in the end, I feel like Kent State's offense will prevail in the end, because Wyoming doesn't really have much of an offense at all. So I'm going to have Kent State winning barely 23-21. Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, you got UTSA, Conference USA Champions 12-1 versus 24 San Diego State, Mountain West runner up there. This is going the way type of game here. I like both defense, but especially like San Diego State's defense. They're a good defense. Offensively, I like UTSA better. And if it's a game where it's like, okay, you're just going to need some offense at this point, then I'll take UTSA, especially UTSA with a home field advantage here. So I have them winning 20-17 in a close game. Then you got the Lucky Martin Armed Forces Bowl. You got Missouri versus Army. Now, I know Army got upset by Navy last week, but don't let that deter you. Missouri, I have to look at it here real quick. So Missouri, their defensive points per game is 34, which is basically 116th in the country. But then here's the thing: when you look at their rushing defense, they give up over 200 yards a game, but that's 125th in the country. Well, Army, their triple loves to run the ball, top 3 rushing offense in the country. So I feel like it's clear as day. You should go with Army there. So I have Army winning 24-16. That's why stats are helpful. Because off the eye, Power 5 Missouri, you think Missouri, but nope, you gotta look at the stats. Frisco Football Classic Bowl. This bowl was actually added so that there wouldn't be any bowl eligible teams that would be sitting at home this year. So nice of them. But anyways, I have North Texas versus Miami, Ohio. This one's a go either way type of game, but because the way North Texas ended the season, I'm going to have them winning this one 23-20. Next, you got the Union Home Mortgage Bowl. We got UCF versus Florida, so nice, in-state rivalry there. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Florida here, even though, the Mullins was let go, and they got Billy Napiers, new head coach and all that. I still like how they showed fight against another in-state rival, Florida State, in their final game just to get bowl eligible. And also UCF, while they're better as a defense team, I don't like their offense at all. So I feel like Florida should be able to shut down their offense, which is good because Florida's not a great defense. So I have Florida winning 26-17. Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. And you got Memphis versus hometown team Hawaii. Now, because Hawaii is a home, a lot of people are going to pick Hawaii here probably, but and I can understand why they should, but Hawaii is actually, like, when you look at the stats, it's not that very good. It's actually surprising that Hawaii even got bowl eligible. They had 2 upsets against Fresno State and I forgot who else in the Mountain West just to get bowl eligible. So I know Memphis has kind of been on a downward trend in the season, but I think Memphis is just a better overall team, so I'll take Memphis 24-20. Camellia Bowl on Christmas Day, which we rarely have a bowl on Christmas Day. You got Ball State versus Georgia State. I like Georgia State to win here not easily. It should be a close game. I don't know why I said easily, but I do like Georgia State's run game against Ball State's defense, so be on the lookout for that. I have them winning 22-21. Quick Lane Bowl, you got Nevada versus Western Michigan. This was a very hard game for me to pick because Nevada, they lost their head coach. But because this is Strawn's last game, because he's already declared for the NFL draft, I think he is playing this game now. So therefore, I feel like he wants to go out with a bang. So he'll make sure Nevada gets out on top at the winning 27-24. Military Bowl, you got East Carolina. First time they made a bowl game in a while. Congrats to them versus Boston College. This is going to be a type of game because Boston College just has a little more offense than East Carolina does. That's why I'm going to go Boston College here in a close game, 20-17. Taking about smarter Birmingham Bowl, you got 20 Houston versus Auburn. Now, a lot of people are going to go Auburn here because again, Power Five versus G5. But again, I like Houston here because they're a very good offense. So I feel like they can, they're not going to score a lot of points because Auburn's a good defense, but I feel like they score enough. And then Auburn offensively, I just don't like them at all. Like even if Auburn offense was competent, I would take them because Houston's not, a great defense, but they're a good enough defense. So I have Houston winning 24-20. Shoot for first responder pool. You got Air Force versus Louisville. I'm going to take Air Force here. The win. A lot of people are like smirking at that, but I mean, Louisville's not a good defense at all, especially a good rushing defense. Again, you look at stats, and Air Force is the best rushing team in the country. Um, like for example, okay, so there's so Louisville, there's 76 in rushing defense, and obviously it's the first rushing offense versus 76 rushing defense. You got to look at the numbers there. I have Air Force winning 20-23 in a close game. I was a Liberty Bowl. Yeah, Texas Tech versus Mississippi State. A lot of people feel like this is a good game. And Mike Leach is facing his former, team back when he was at Texas Tech in the early part of the 2000s. But I just feel like this is besides the kicking game, Mississippi State pretty much has a clear advantage here as far as winning this game. Um, I feel like Texas Tech won't be able to stop Mississippi State's offense. And then Mississippi State's defense is kind of underrated. Like, I mean, they're not great by any means, but they're, good compared to what they've been in the past. So I have Mississippi State winning 34-19. And next you got the Holiday Bowl. You got 18 North Carolina State versus UCLA. Go either way type of game here. But because NC State, I mean, both teams have offenses, so then it comes down to defense. Well, I know North Carolina State actually has a defense. So therefore, I'm going to take NC State here 20-14. Guarantee Rate Bowl, you have Minnesota versus West Virginia. Now, Minnesota, I thought should have been like the Outback Bowl or Citrus Bowl or something like that. Based off where they are in the Big Ten standings. So it's the fact that Jake got gypped. I feel like they're going to take that out of West Virginia. Plus, Minnesota's the top, 15, 20 defense in the country. And West Virginia is horrible. I scored a lot of points. So therefore, I'm Minnesota winning 17-9. The lower scoring game there. Fenway Bowl, SMU versus Virginia. I have Virginia winning a shootout for Bronco Mendenhall's final game with Virginia there. At 38-34. Pinstripe Bowl. I'm going to take Virginia Tech here over Maryland 31-27, the highest scoring affair. Despite getting a new coach and all that, I just feel like Virginia Tech's a more talented team. Cheez-It Bowl, 19 Clemson versus Iowa State here. Interesting because Iowa State, regarded top 10 team preseason, now falling down. Clemson obviously falling down as well, but not falling enough to where they can still be ranked. A lot of turnover on offense and defense for Clemson, but I still feel like Dallas, when you get a group together and get the win here, because they're a more talented team, but they're winning 19-17. Valera Alamo Bowl. 16 Oklahoma versus 14 Oregon. Now, both coaching changes, all that, roster changes, all that. Like, Thibodeau ain't playing for Oregon. But because Oklahoma just clearly has the better talent perspective, I'm going to take Oklahoma here for the win 20-20. Duke's Mayo Bowl, North Carolina versus South Carolina. And go either way type of game. Because North Carolina's a bad defense, but South Carolina's a bad offense. But because South Carolina's offense is that much worse, I'm going to go ahead and go with, and Sam Howell wants to go out as a winner because we see he's going to the draft. I'm going to take North Carolina here 2017. Music Bowl, you got Purdue versus Tennessee. Tennessee is actually a very bad defense, and Purdue's a very good passing offense, so I'm taking Purdue here for the upset, because a lot of people are liking Tennessee here. I'm taking Purdue 35-31. Then you got the Las Vegas Bowl, Wisconsin versus Arizona State. Wisconsin wins this one easily, in my opinion, because Wisconsin's a top 10, 20 defense. Arizona State, I mean, they can't really pass that well. They only just run the ball, in all honesty, so they should win the lower scoring game 21-10. Gator Bowl, you got 17 Wake Forest versus 25 Texas A&M. I feel like Texas A&M should win this game easily because they're just clearly the better team. Wake Forest defense is so trash that A&M should do what they want on offense. I'm going to give Wake Forest a little more credit here because I feel like their offense could do some things against A&M's defense, but A&M should win 31-20, so by double digits. The Sun Bowl, Miami versus Washington State. Now, this is one of the hardest games for me to predict here because I like Miami's efforts. Even the new head coach, I like the way they've been playing this season. But since Washington State, they've been playing addicted for a while, I'm just going to take them barely 24-23. Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, Boise State Central Michigan. Boise State should win this one easily, but especially being close to home field, 27-20. Cry Texas Bowl, Kansas State versus LSU with all the turnover, and also LSU being on a third-string quarterback for this game. Basically, I'm taking Kansas State to win here 20-13, lower scoring game. And then for the Outback Bowl, Penn State, Arkansas. Arkansas more talent, they should win this one. But I haven't been a close game because I respect James Franklin, 17-16. And then Citrus Bowl, 15 Iowa, 22 Kentucky. I'm taking Mark Stoops here to get the big win, 17-14 against Iowa. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.